Losing off top, you stop breathing.
Which now brings us to the main event, and I know P was it was the first time. This was the first time because I don't think they played Sweet Caroline at.
This is the first time I've heard Sweet Caroline, and I want it to be the last time I hear it at a live event. I even told my sister, and I was like, my sister's like, that is the number one white people song. They love that song. So
yeah, even white people love Sweet. I love that damn song.
Even my sister knows. So I was just like, oh, this is freaking annoying.
All I hear is you hear that shit. I'm like, oh God.
I was tired of it. I'm like, let's get the main event on. So
they overuse it. If you just heard it maybe once every 3-4 months, but it's every fucking week is with that shit. So it's
yeah, and pretty much it's a maximum staple. It doesn't matter if they're in the UK or in America. Eddie's that song you're gonna hear to play, even if there's probably no UK fighters on the card.
Yeah, that shit's just weird. It's it's if you gonna have something like that, it can't just be overdone. I remember when people used to go crazy with Ricky Hatton and the Blue Moon shit.
Oh yes.
But at least that's his own vibe though. If you had to hear that at everybody else fight, you'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like they doing with this bullshit, bro. Whatever, it's their culture. I get it.
Yeah, and obviously because Katie Taylor's there and everything like that. So, but at least the intros though. I mean, Serrano's intro was hard. He played all the Europe anthems, and then they had the Rican anthems over there. I was like, okay, I recognize this shit. They put this shit in my gym sometimes.
Let Hook start popping it.
Yeah. And then Taylor's was kind of subdued or whatever, but the crowd was still going crazy nonetheless. And also you can
slow ass walk. I was like, the fuck is this? Is this the Mummy Returns? Get your ass to the ring.
But I actually think though, I think K-Tel was caught, because I think she was kind of taken aback because it's women's boxing and damn, I have it's damn near 20,000 people. They're here to see me type of shit. I think she got caught up in the moment because I think that's where I was like, she was just trying to take this all in because man, I'm the main event.
But I'm she's been in front of big ass crowds before, maybe because I guess they were finally the focus, so and maybe that's what's different. But I could have sworn that arena was full as hell and Pursuit was smacking her around. But
yeah, they were, but then they weren't there for the women. They were there for Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua was fighting in America. That was literally the whole thing.
And shame on y'all because I was there for both of them fucking fights. I wanted to see Pursuit Taylor just as bad as Rui and Joshua, but some of y'all niggas don't be liking women boxing like that.
I mean, the first one. I mean, obviously Taylor is a drug, but no one could have predicted.
I know it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't it wasn't heralded as some mega big fight. Only the second one was because people thought she should have lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the pandemic and all that shit. So
yeah. So, but it was good though. And then you got the little montage with Layla Ali and Cecilia Brækhus and Christy Martin up top. Stuff like that. And
that was dope. Felt like we was watching a Klitschko card overseas.
Facts. And I know P saw all types of Clarissa Shields was there and
Michaela Mayer was there, Alicia Baumgartner was there, Tanisha Estrada was there. Every women's fighter was there.
Yeah, Michaela Mayer was there.
Jessica Casper was there.
Yeah.
All of them.
Was the environment fucking super lit, P? I mean, no exactly.
This is probably the most lit. It's probably the most lit boxing event I've been to.
It felt like it. I'm through the screen. It felt like it.
It definitely was.
I'm getting Trinidad Joppy vibes.
Yeah, I was like, that shit was rocking. I knew it because I have a woofer attached, and that shit was kind of every single time the niggas was cheering, that shit was vibrating my fucking floor.
My voice is still feeling it. That's how crazy it was.
When you scream robbery at the top of your lungs, that's what happens. But shit, let's get into it, man. I'm gonna ask you each of y'all real quick. Pat, who you had with it?
Honestly, I thought it was a draw.
Okay, King P, who you had with it?
I mean, do you even have to ask that question?
Yeah. Pilot, who you have with it?
Serrano, but I wasn't really mad at the decision. I was kind of, but I wasn't really that.
You a Canelo fan, of course you're not.
I was very mad.
It was like 6-4 either way or a draw.
7 rounds was too much. Way too much. That was what got me.
I don't know if I saw Taylor win 6 rounds. Like I could see either Serrano winning 6-4, or I could see 5-5.
A draw. Yeah, Serrano.
It felt more like a draw than anything because Serrano, I felt she kind of just took a foot off the gas, or
she gassed.
Taylor fought harder to come back.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
This she was getting lit up at times.
No, yeah, but Katie Taylor, like her IQ, like when she got hurt, she was leaning hard on Serrano. Like that was impressive. Like how, because she was hurt as fuck, but she was just like she was just throwing off Serrano, leading on her. I was like, that was.
That's what Bradley Provolnikov.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say. You know, if it was like a normal boxing match and it was 3 French toast minutes, you know, she would have gotten her out of there.
Yeah,
like she got Heather Hardy out of there.
Yeah.
Look, we can't look. Serrano's the last person we got to get a 3-minute excuse from. She don't even give herself that excuse, so I'm not gonna give her that.
I'm not giving her excuse. I'm just giving my opinion. Like,
I mean, I feel that, but it's like she done knocked out too many brawls within 2 minutes, and it's not that she didn't have other rounds afterwards. Like I feel like she kind of dropped the ball. Even I still think she won
6-4, right?
Yeah, but she dropped the ball hard because it was a noticeable comeback.
Yeah, and she gassed. She gassed pretty bad. You can tell.
But goddamn, it's like it's not like fuck. Like trying too hard to gas like that. It's like she wasn't throwing crazy shots like that. Like,
well, she threw a lot more punches. You know,
yeah, she did.
It was really,
like 4 rounds.
It was really the 8th and 9th round that she took her foot off the gas. I think she got a little tired and kind of needed to recover a little bit, but I don't know. She just felt off.
Yeah,
she like clear like rounds where like she took off, but the thing, she was getting lit up and she was getting hit too many times those rounds, and it just kind of gave Taylor too much momentum. Like after that, I was like, Serrano gonna have to knock her out or drop her because they're not gonna give it to her.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like the fight is like basically 3 acts. Like the first act is pretty much Taylor using having the fact she has getting off her punches more than Serrano. Second half is Serrano knocking Katie Taylor the fuck around, like bloodying her, lumping her up.
Yeah, like in the middle rounds. Yeah. Like,
yeah, and it looked like Katie Taylor was about to be taken the fuck up out of there. I'm like, okay, because I'm like, because it didn't look like it, but I'm like thinking to myself because I was like,
she was out on her feet, like
she was hurt. She was hurt.
She looked like, you ever got like hit by a car out of nowhere, and it's like you're like, oh shit, like your eye, like that's how she looked.
Yeah, her eyes. She was on Queer Street. You know what I'm saying? Like
like a truck backed into her. Like, oh shit, hey bitch, watch where the fuck you going? Like, and you're like, oh shit, like that's the look she had.
Yeah, and that's the first thing too. She was really, she was really trying to show Serrano. Like she was eating bricks upon bricks. And like no,
she was throwing bricks too because she was low key lighting Serrano up in some of them exchanges. I was like, damn, Serrano, like, because I know Serrano be walking into punches sometimes. So that's my only thing that had me kind of like, damn, you're getting hit too clean with these flurries,
right?
And they gonna make them. Yeah, they gonna make them like they Roy Jones flurries and Sugar Ray Leonard flurries, and it's like, nah, like.
Right, and then the unfortunate thing was like, the third act is like, like she kind of gassed her, she took her foot off the pedal, and I was like, like Serrano needs to drop her, like she needs to do something, because like Katie, like, if Katie wins these 3 rounds and it's close, she's gonna get those rounds, like and that's what happened. Like that's literally what happened. Katie managed to fight her way back, and even in the 10th round, like she was still where they started to throw fades at each other again, and Katie's knee buckled in the last second. Like her right knee looked like it was about ready to touch it. Like I was just like, oh snap. Katie got good and lit up in that fight though. But yeah, Serrano fucked up by letting her off the hook. for whatever reason, and yeah, man, we get the split decision. Oh man, like the fact that obviously Serrano won. I think she won 96-94 on one card, but lost 96-93, which I'm trying to understand where that came from, and then 97-93, which is wild.
No, it was 96-93 probably because they probably scored it a 10-8 round in round 5. In round 5, where Serrano almost had her out. Like,
that's probably where the 96 came from.
Yeah, because or else it would have been 97-93 for Taylor. And she didn't win no 7 rounds.
Yeah, no, she definitely didn't win those 7 rounds, and that was the bullshit right there. Decision aside, the fight was fucking spectacular. Like it is literally one. Like the first women's super fight lived up to it, and then some. Like there's highlights. On Instagram, ESPN, SportsCenter, DAZN has the videos out. Matchroom has it on the channel. Like, oh, this shit is buzzing. Like, because there's so much you can take from that fight. Like, I know people on my Facebook were watching this shit, found a way to watch this shit. I should say, so people who don't even really know what a DAZN is, or DAZN, as niggas like to be saying it. Shit like that. So it lived up to its hype and more. Like, you could tell. Every woman fighter in there, like the ones that got on Twitter and talked about it, they were humble about it. Like they
usually hate, because you usually hate. Be honest, they usually throwing the shade. They weren't even throwing no shade.
Well, the only negative I have about the fight was the commentary. The commentary was a little bit too biased for my liking. Like Mannix did a horrible job, and McCaskill clearly has a thing because Kay Taylor beat her before. So yeah, she was throwing hella shade. Like she was not like, she was like, every single time the Serrano was, oh, Katie shouldn't be doing this. Like McCaskill just could not, she couldn't hide her bias for anything.
Nope. But no, low key, Jake Paul commentating was decent, way better than I expected.
Yeah, like him and Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri, was on point, and so was Clarissa Shields too. She actually was doing her thing.
Shields' commentary was good too.
Yeah, although at the absolute end of the whole card, she kind of made everything about herself. Like when her and Tony Bellew were trying to talk about some shit, and Clarissa was, talking about her a little bit too much, about herself too much, But for the most part, Mannix needed to be pulled off the broadcast. McCaskill is whatever because she's the undisputed welterweight champion, she actually,
think about it, like when Jake Paul is outshining you in commentary, and you're a commentator. That's a bad look, Mannix.
Yeah, like Mannix needs to be. Mannix needs to, and I think people let him know. I think there were a couple people that follow us on Twitter that let him know, and Mannix actually responded to them. And it was like, well, what did I say that was so bad? Shit like that.
Motherfucker, you be breathing. That's what it is. Yeah. You're there. That's what's so bad. Your fucking presence. And he said some slick shit too last night. I'm trying to remember. Like, he said some slick shit.
Yeah, I think I
don't think it was the TJ Maxx shit. Like,
yeah, yeah. Dude, just like he tries to bring some sort of frat boy shit into the boxing commentary for some odd reason, man. It's always something, man. It's like he's biased to the point where he thinks that if he's biased, that these women are gonna really talk to him, or they're gonna give him the time of day in real life. Like, no, bro, like. Do your fucking job.
The only thing he has going for him is you can tell he likes boxing.
Right.
I get that from him. Like, I could tell, but like he's be one of those people. Like, if you interacted with him on a message board, like you couldn't stand him. Like, picture the worst person you ever interacted with on a message board for boxing, and they get a commentator kid. Yeah. That's Mannix. The worst boxing Twitter personality ever gets a commentator and get that's Mannix. Like literally, like shit. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. Like, I just feel like that whole fight deserved way better commentary than what those two were doing.
Won't be the first fight that came on the zone that deserved better commentary.
Yeah, facts.
I wish I could get all those real boys. It'd be dope getting fucking Roy Jones and Lampley there.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lampley's like in semi-retirement, and Roy is like.
Roy on that other shit now.
Roy, he has his own. He does his own little promotion, right?
Yeah,
Or
with Paulie and
Tarver, that Magic or whatever.
And Marquez. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good ass squad of damn commentators.
I was watching a club. I was watching a club show like one week, and I saw like Paulie and Tarver and Roy Jones talking on some random nobody card. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
That's like overpowered. Like that's like you having a rec game in your kid's neighborhood for your kid, and it's like, damn, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes out to ref the game, and Dr. J comes out to, he's on call he's another referee, and then some other motherfuckers come out, like, you're like, hold on, like, why everybody out for this? Like,
and I mean, I know probably at some point we'll probably talk about that new promotion, because I mean, they're another one with a service, and and it's like, this is boxing strictly for the boxing fan, that type of shit, something like, we'll definitely.
So let me ask y'all this. Alright, so I know we separated, like, as far as like women got their own pound for pound. So who you think is number one now, pound for pound, of boxing pound for pound?
Oh,
because the fight of the millennium just happened, So is it? Did Taylor do enough to really keep it, or like I never thought she deserved that? To me, Shields is number one until somebody knocks out.
Agreed. Shields is number one
until there was a definitive win for this type of fight.
Well, see, the whole time I've been hearing that these two ladies that fought last night are 1 and 2.
Man, they just say that shit, nigga. You gotta promote the fight, like the fuck. Like,
they just say that.
Like, dude,
I read it online too, so I don't know. I mean, but I think those were the top 3. I mean, definitely, like between
Ring game, keep it real. You know, we be critical of all these motherfuckers. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like, people could go back and hear it. Nigga, goddamn. Even see some of the comments on YouTube, motherfuckers like, y'all think it's fake. Like, whatever the bullshit y'all niggas. Like,
yeah, man. So I mean,
you don't like Shields, her personality, whatever the fuck her looks, I don't care. Whatever you don't disagree on her, don't like her. She just has the best resume and overall performances, where she's just number one until somebody knocks her out and takes her place, or fighters from another division can make a big enough fight and have the records and opponents to back it up to where decisive win in their big fight could put them over Shields.
Right.
And until that happens, if Taylor would have legit beat Serrano, like clearly, like not this shit where it's like, not no Canelo shit, basically.
Right.
If you would beat her clearly, then you could be like, yeah, if you win the biggest women's fight of all time, you're gonna be pound for pound number one. Fuck it, like we'll give you that. Like, nah, you took that.
Right.
But this way, it feels like we're giving her that. If Serrano would have knocked out Taylor or one, she would have been number one. And Shields would be 2, Taylor would be 3.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's still Shields number 1. I'll give you Taylor number 2, Serrano 3, and just keep going.
McCaskill 4.
Yeah, because she's undisputed. I feel like the winner of if Baumgartner unifies and she then fights Mayer, they get undisputed. That person could really leapfrog. They'll leapfrog McCaskill, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, and I'm a McCaskill fan, but like, that's like I don't know. That's, you get extra points if you done been a long reigning champion, you unify, and then you become undisputed. Like, I think that's a little more. That's more sauce than beating the undisputed champion twice. Even though that's still great. I ain't one of these Mark Kriegel niggas like, winning 4 belts or 4 belts in 4 divisions. You know, people think that's not a lot. Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Who are these people?
You know, but yeah, she's like either way, like you know, I mean, Taylor is up there. Like, she does have a resume. I mean, she has now official victories over both Serrano sisters, which is, you know, it's like scary.
Bullshit. I mean, but yeah,
officially, not unofficially.
Yeah.
Officially.
Got me sounding like a fucking Golovkin fan with these damn unofficial leagues and bullshit and this, that, like, god damn. I promise, yo. The day Taylor loses, and it'll happen. It'll fucking happen.
I mean, we all picked Serrano too, so it's just because we were all thinking like, damn, there's not a chance that.
I don't think none of us were wrong. Fuck that.
The funny thing is, Serrano became an underdog at the day of the fight. I looked at the betting, and Serrano was the favorite.
Yeah,
Taylor jumped off the boat and raised the damn odds on that shit. That's all I'm saying. Jumped off the plane, wherever the fuck.
Yeah, no, but I mean, Taylor was like a slight underdog. So I mean, obviously, if you probably be out like a fat rat if you did pick her. You know, you did put some money on her. But like,
let me ask you this: like, I felt like Serrano was getting kind of buzzed from the Taylor punches. Like,
she was there, and she got cut by the punches too, I think.
Yeah, like I think
she didn't really. I don't know, because when I was there, it didn't look like she was really stunned at anything. Like, I should
not stunned, buzz, nigga. Stunned and buzz is like 2 different things. Like,
okay.
The stun is like 4 to 5. It's like 3 to 5 seconds.
To me,
buzz is like 1 second, 2 seconds.
Buzz is like, you caught my attention. That's it. That's how I feel.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like 1 second, 2 seconds. Stun is like 3 to 5 seconds. That's when, like, oh shit. Like Serrano stunned Taylor a bunch of times, like twice, maybe 3 times.
A good 3 times,
like,
yeah.
But I felt like Taylor buzzed Serrano a couple times.
She did, especially near the end of the fight. She definitely did.
Like, cause you could tell Serrano was feeling some of those punches, because I think his speed, and the thing is, I think Taylor was punching the hardest she ever punched. Like, she was throwing shots on those, like, yo, keep this bitch off me punches. Like,
it looks like it's like, I mean, the punches, like, I mean, they weren't pillows. Like, Kate Taylor had 6 knockouts, but the punches she was landing on Serrano and those exchanges were not pillows. Like they were snapping each other's fucking head back. I mean, although Serrano was the harder puncher, it was clear that Serrano was still, you know, like I said, was still feeling some shit.
Because there was times like shit was reminding me of Amir Khan and fucking Collazo.
Yeah.
Fucking Serrano would have her hands dropped and she'll kind of just go into Taylor, and Taylor would just start winging combos. I'm like, put your hands up, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, jab your way in, like, what the fuck you doing? Like, that shit was frustrating, man. Like, god damn. Fuck, I wanted Taylor to lose. Like, shit. Fuck.
I will say this. That's the first time I've been in a long time I've been thoroughly impressed with Katie Taylor, though. I mean, like, you know, like, entertained, I guess you could say.
Her judges always impress me, nigga. Like, I'm always impressed by her judges. Like, you know, like, Canelo, next week, I'm sure I'm going to be impressed by the judges next week, too. Like, I don't know. Y'all, they trying to give me a fucking stroke in these back-to-back weeks, man. Shit, I can't. Those boxing guys, y'all can't put a Canelo Taylor fight back-to-back. Like, nah.
Yeah, so, but either way, I mean, they were still, I mean, both Eddie and Jake Paul were talking that, you know, rematch shit, you know, having a rematch in Ireland, yeah. Which means Serrano would have to knock her out.
She gonna have to knock her out, dude. They could fight on a fucking volcano. Like, dude, she gonna have to knock her out there. They could fight on a fucking Navy ship in fucking international waters. Fucking gonna have to knock her out there. It don't matter. You want to knock her out anywhere, nigga. In Jupiter, fucking Mars. I don't care. You get fucking alien fucking judges, and they'll be like, Katie Taylor doing combos. I gotta deal with this shit next week for the goddamn Canelo fight.
Yeah, man. So, but just to wrap up this topic, yeah, like I said, I mean, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, like mad props. You deserve every type of accolades that you got. Like, women's boxing, was now probably on the highest level and platform it's ever been. It's like I said, if you watch, like, if you go back to watching women's boxing since the days of watching Christy Martin on Mike Tyson's undercards and see how far it's actually come along, it's like, god damn, like, this shit it's here. Like, I mean, it was great for women's boxing to have that type of platform that, it took years for it to actually get to that level.
And it's been just building, and like I said, the last 5 years, it really just kind of just been getting better and better, and each year has been better. Sure, and you got the next generation like Sky Nicholson, who looked impressive on the prelims.
On the prelims, yep, she did.
Southpaw. She got a little Savannah Marshall in there with the little stance and the swaying. Yeah, the combination and throwing the left, like. But yeah, women's boxing need to stay. Yeah, it's taking over, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and yeah, I mean, I look forward to whatever they come up with the rematch. Because I'm pretty sure the rematch will also be a war too. And Eddie deserves all the props that he, for putting together this event the way that. And then obviously Pete, as he just said, that's probably the livest boxing event he's been to, and he's been to a good amount, especially in New York. So
if this nigga says that, then that's
yeah.
If we interview King P one day, we be like, yo, so what's the best live fight you saw? He gonna have some good ass fucking choices.
Yeah, for big time. Yeah. So yeah, salute for him for actually, for making it out there though, no doubt.